drawn since I was a kid, since I could hold a pencil in my hand. I do have some formal training, but I've trained myself my whole life too. I earn my living with my art 100%, and then all my free time I devote to the arts as well, and things like Art Love Magic and other live shows around town. I graduated with a painting and drawing degree from the University of North Texas. I love illustration and cartooning in particular, but line is my favorite medium. I work with paint a little bit, but I don't enjoy it as much as pencil or pen and ink, that kind of stuff. So like this piece, for example, not only was this done live during an Art Love Magic event, but then also I realized the day I took it to get framed that I wasn't happy enough with it yet. So while the woman was generously building the frame, I was literally in her framing shop with my pencils spread out everywhere, working on this up until right before it went under glass. So, and that's fun. And this one's maybe even more kinetic than the Mary. I mean, I'm really in love with these insane lines in here where it really gets crazy. And it's crazy enough to where if you're very, very close to it, you might not even be able to see what's going on until you step back. I mean, I come from spirit. So, you know, spirit is hugely important to me, and I'm interested in the teachings of Christ. And I'm not a religious guy as much as I am a spiritual guy, but it does make its way into my drawings and my cartoons, and it's really the base of where I come from. My life makes a lot more sense when I'm being creative. When I'm not, that's when things tend to go wrong for me, and I feel out of step with everything. So, you know, I express creativity in every way. I draw, and I'm a poet, and I produce shows and work with other artists, and I get excited about other people's work as well. So more and more I'm trying to get my life towards, you know, 24/7 about this, to be honest. Dude, comics is beautiful. Comics will save the world. Comics is my favorite art form. It's been my favorite art form since I was a little kid. It's tough for me to do because, like we spoke about, I'm not really the kind of guy to sit in a studio for 8 hours alone and just work at a drawing table. I require more kinetic energy than that, but God, I love comics, and I love to read comics, and I love people who make comics. I just think that particular combination of literature and image, man, I don't even know if I can explain it. It just puts something alive in me. I was hired by a company called Capgemini Ernst & Young that uses live scribing, which is basically the act of capturing a conversation live into pictures. So I would be drawing at a big wall while people are talking, and I'm drawing pictures of the things that they're saying. Not pictures of the people, pictures of the things they're saying. So if we're talking about an art event, I'd be drawing artists and paintbrushes and canvases and easels and these kind of things. If we were talking about city planning, I'd be drawing buildings and highways and trucks, those kind of things. And just listen to what they say, get down the key points, and create an artifact of a visual representation of the conversation. Works a lot better than text notes, and it's entertaining to watch. So I've been doing that for about 7 or 8 years now, and it's the primary means of how I earn my living. So that was really my first experience doing live art. I did that long before I did fine art live in front of audiences, and now I do both every single week. So the location that we're at right now, Life in Deep Ellum and the Mocha Coffee Bar and Art Gallery, brilliant location for us. One of the few places in Dallas where you have a venue that supports the arts at multiple levels. So they have a small coffee lounge where we can throw, like, say, a small poetry event in, and then they have a large art gallery that we can hold exhibits and shows in, and then they even have a huge venue that we could seat, you know, 300 people in and have a giant concert or a giant live art event. So my organization, Art Love Magic, is about promoting local arts and arts at all levels, and very intentional about mixing diverse art forms. Poetry, painting, sculpture, fashion, dance, illustration, comics, photography, everything is part of the mix. Always positive, always conscious, always welcoming, and we're very intentful about breaking down the walls between the artist and the spectator. We want to do live events that people are inspired by and they get a touch of light from. Hey, I think Dallas art scene is highly underdeveloped and underestimated. People don't think of Dallas as an art mecca. I'm here to tell you Dallas is an art mecca. There's brilliant music here, there's brilliant painting here, there's brilliant sculpture here. Talent is not the issue, access is the issue. And that's what we're trying to address. But I got more talented people than I know what to do with, without a doubt. As I got older, more and more what people were willing to compensate me the right way for was my art skills. Because when you're a specialist, or even when you're just an individual artist, the truth is, if you're doing what you do well, there's really no competition, because nobody else is going to do it exactly like what you do. So if your clients get to know your work and get to like the way that you particularly draw or paint or sing or sculpt, that's what they want. They want to buy that particular talent. So I find that was the best way to develop a career. When I was just being paid to do things anyone else could do, I wasn't being paid that well, and I wasn't in demand. When I started making my whole life about the things that I did uniquely, everything started working.